Hi y'all, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm in the kitchen making some old-fashioned chocolate buttermilk cupcakes. I've tried several different chocolate recipes and I found this to be my favorite. It's super chocolatey and super moist, and I hope you'll come along with me today while I make chocolate cupcakes. To begin making this delicious cupcake recipe, I'm going to begin by putting 2 sticks or a cup of butter in a microwave safe bowl, and then I'm going to add to that a cup of semi-sweet chips. Now I'm making a large amount of these. You can half this recipe for sure, but I'm making a double amount because I am making these for the kids tonight at church, and we've been having a good crowd. So I want to have plenty of cupcakes for the kids. So next I'm going to add the oil, and I'm just using canola oil, but you can also use melted coconut oil, which I have done many times. But today I was out of that. So today I'm using just canola oil, and I'm using 5 tablespoons. I'm going to pour that in there. And now I'm going to go to the microwave and I'm going to heat this in 30-second increments until it's all melted together. So I'll be back when I have this all melted together. All right, that only took me 1 minute. I just cooked it 2 30-second increments, and as you can see, it's all melted and mixed together. And now I'm going to set this aside to cool while we mix our dry ingredients together. All right, our dry ingredients are going to start with the flour, and I'm using 1 3/4 cups of flour. And then I have a whole cup of cocoa powder. Now, for cocoa powder, when I make this, I really like dark chocolatey things. So I usually use the dark chocolate cocoa powder. Today, I kind of have a half and half here because I was low on my dark chocolate. So I've got a little half and half, just regular cocoa and dark chocolate cocoa. All right, I need to actually add my other dry ingredients in here, which is the baking powder, the soda, and the salt. So let me add that. So let's start with the salt, and that would be 1 teaspoon of salt. Baking powder, it's 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And then a whole teaspoon of baking soda. All right, now that is all the dry ingredients. So now and I'm just sifting those together. And you definitely need to sift your cocoa. I don't know if you've ever used cocoa much, but cocoa usually has kind of little balls in it, and always helps to sift that cocoa. And of course, sifting those then helps to mix them. I'm gonna mix that a little bit more. Let me set this aside. But basically now all my dry ingredients are mixed together. And then I'm going to set this aside. And we'll come back to the dry ingredients in just a minute. This is really an easy recipe to make. I always like anything where I don't have to drag out my mixer, and that's one of them. Since I'm making a really large batch, I'm going to have to use my large mixing bowl, which is not clear, and I apologize for that. I'm going to try to get it where you can see inside what I'm doing, but we'll do the best we can here today. All right, we've gotten our oil, butter, and chocolate melted. We've sifted our dry ingredients, and now we're going to whisk our eggs. And I have 5 large eggs and 1 extra egg yolk. That extra egg yolk will just add a little bit of, what's the word for it? It's going to add some more moisture into the recipe. And I'm just going to use this whisk that I used on my chocolate because we're going to combine all that together anyway. So I'm just going to whisk these by hand today until they're good and frothy. Once your eggs are good and frothy, have little bubbles all on top, and they're mixed, the egg yolks and the whites are mixed really well. Now I'm gonna add my sugar to the egg yolks. And basically I'm doing the wet ingredients now, and what sugar is still considered a wet ingredient because if you heated sugar, it would melt into a liquid. So sugar is actually considered part of your wet ingredients. So I'm putting in 2 cups of sugar and mixing those in with the egg yolks. All right, next I'm going to add my vanilla, and it calls for 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And we're just gonna continue to mix all that together. And now we're gonna take our chocolate and butter mixture and combine these 2 together. Now, keep in mind, you want to be sure that your chocolate mixture is cool enough that it's not gonna scramble your eggs. And mine wasn't very hot since I didn't have to cook it very long. Let's get all that good chocolatey goodness out of that bowl. And then we're going to mix that in well. Okay, now we're to the dry ingredients, where we're going to alternate adding the dry ingredients with a cup of buttermilk. And always when you're doing alternating dry ingredients, you want to start with your dry ingredients. And I'm going to do a third. Now, this is going to get thicker now. So instead of my wire whisk, I'm going to start using my spatula to stir this. All right, so I'm going to start with a third of my dry ingredients. And here you can just guess. You don't have to measure a third, but I'm going to do about a third. Stir those in. As you can see, my batter is definitely getting thicker, but it's going to be a really runny batter, what I call a runny batter, by the time we're done today. Now we're going to do actually half of the buttermilk, about half. So I'm going to pour till I have about half a cup left, and we're going to stir in that buttermilk. And then I'm going to repeat this process until I have all of my buttermilk and my flour mixed in. As you can see, now that all the flour and dry ingredients and the wet ingredients are combined and the buttermilk is in there, it's still a very, very thick batter. But there's one more thing that goes in there, and that's a cup of hot water. But I add something extra to that water. Instead of just adding water, I like to add a little instant espresso powder to my water. So basically, I add this to my hot water. And today I'm adding 2 since I'm doubling this recipe. And so basically I'm adding a little coffee or espresso into my cake. this, you won't taste the coffee in this recipe. Now I'm going to pour this in, and then I want to mix it quickly and stir it in quickly, but till it gets all mixed in. So pour that in, and then let's stir that. Even though I have to stir quickly, I have to stir carefully because that will definitely slosh out. But I'm adding that cup of water to that, and it's going to turn this into a really, really thin batter. Oop, I'm sloshing already, so there's a trick to it. Stir quickly, but not so quickly you slosh it on the counter, like I did. I think I've still got some thick batter stuck to my spoon here, or my spatula. I can smell that coffee, but I promise you, you won't taste the coffee, but the coffee, when you're making a chocolate cake, a little coffee added in there will give that chocolate just a little bit of a bite, and people won't even realize why that's such a good chocolate cake. All right, and we're just gonna stir just until combined there, but we have it all combined. And then, since I'm making cupcakes, I assume you could use this also for a cake recipe. Let me do a little cleanup here. Get a little of this off my counter. So now we're just going to put this into our muffin tin or a cupcake pan, and I'm using liners so I don't have to worry about greasing or oiling. And I also have learned I like to use my scoop. Now this recipe doesn't rise a whole lot. They won't have little mounded tops. They'll be more like flat on the top. So we're gonna fill these 3/4 of the way full. But if I remember right, this little 1/4 cup scoop makes it perfect. So I'm gonna fill all of these cupcakes. Then we're gonna bake it in a 350-degree oven for 16 to 18 minutes. I will say it's such a runny batter that it is a little bit messy to get it into the muffin tins. I love this 24-count muffin tin pan. I got this at a restaurant supply store. You could frost these cupcakes with your choice of frostings. I've done them with cream cheese frosting. I've done them with chocolate buttercream. But today I'm going to make Swiss chocolate buttercream because I want to make a video of that. And I'm going to make that in a separate video of how to make Swiss buttercream. But these are, first batch are ready to go. I'm going to clean this up a little bit, put it in the oven for about 16 to 18 minutes. And when these are baked and I have my frosting made, I will be back for us to finish up these cupcakes. My Swiss buttercream has chilled just a little bit in the refrigerator. You don't want it to chill too long because that butter will firm back up too much and then you won't be able to pipe. I'm just going to start in the middle and make a little swirl. Nothing fancy, but just a little buttercream on top of that delicious chocolate cupcake. There we have some delicious cupcakes with a delicious frosting. And I think I'm ready to give it a try. I absolutely love this frosting. Today mine is chocolate but Swiss buttercream, but you can do this in any flavor. And today I made mine chocolate, but you can leave it vanilla and or add other flavorings that you want to add, or food coloring if you're wanting to use it for a particular holiday or special event. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. I've had I've really wanted to share this video for a while. It's absolutely one of my favorite chocolate cupcake recipes. Today I made it really dark chocolate. You don't have to make it this dark chocolate. You can just use regular cocoa. But today I was using dark cocoa, and it is so good. It's so moist. And I love this with the Swiss chocolate Swiss buttercream on it. That Swiss buttercream is just so soft. And I can just, now if I put it in the fridge, that will definitely harden up, but I like it at room temperature when it's nice and soft. I'm gonna dig in and get a whole bite of this cupcake with the Swiss buttercream on it and enjoy every minute of it. That is delicious. Of course, I'm a chocolate fan. I love the dark chocolate. If you don't want it quite so dark, I think maybe if I made it again, I might only use one package of the espresso. It's pretty dark. I like it, but a lot of other people don't always like it that dark. But it's just moist and tender. It's the perfect cupcake. I'm telling you, you have to try this recipe. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you the next time I'm in my kitchen, on my porch, or in my garden.